What's going on with y'all today? Well, up here in the Northeast, it snowed this morning. It snowed a few days ago, so it started doing something when I went out to the store a little while ago. I went over to Walmart to grab a couple of things and stuff, so it started snowing, started sleeting. I said, well, you know what? You're just going to have to slide your way up into Walmart, and I sure did. And I got some stuff, but it calmed down, it stopped. But when I came out, it was kind of slick, so you know what? I said, keep going, keep going. So I slid my way back home. So I don't mind going out in the snow as long as I don't have to go far. But, it was a good day overall. So how were things with you today? It's cold here. It's cold here. The other day I did pellets. I went out, I got a ton of pellets. And when you're a single person, you have to do what you have to do. You can wait on people. Sometimes it's irritating waiting on people. So with me, I kind of do things myself. I don't like to wait too much on people and stuff. I know when the Lord bless me with my helpmate, I'm gonna have to chill back. But at the same time, until then, I gotta keep it moving. So I just wanted to come and just share and be encouragement to you, and for those who are interested in, I'm always talking about business or building or fixing or creating something. There's so many things and so many gifts that God has given to us that I've learned over time that there are so many things if we just stop and slow down and just take a moment and say, well, you know what do I really like to do? So the other day, I was sitting down and I was thinking, and I do a lot of free seminars and things like that about business. I go to or I attend on live. I attended one today, and I was listening, and she was talking about presentation and how to put your work together so that you can take and build a client base. And I do life coaching. I'm a life coach. I've always talked to and encouraged people to, there's more that you could do or be done with the skills you have. We have so many skills that we really don't stop, or nobody's really talked about those things in the community. I don't know what type of community you've been in, but I've been in a lot of communities. We talked about things, but we didn't really talk about business. I didn't have anybody to really network and talk about business and building a business, going into business. So I kind of just did that myself over the years from a kid. I just like talking about business. I like listening to seminars and webinars and going to seminars and conferences to learn different skills, different technologies. I have a daughter who works in a major company, and she's an analyst, and they just had a conference in Florida like 2 months ago, and then they had a conference up here in Stanford last week, and she was like, my God, 2-day conference I have to take and monitor. I said, okay. And I always tell her, when you go to these conferences, can you get me some information? Because I like reading I want to know what every industry is doing. With the changing of the guards now, and I mean, the changing of the guards meaning that the economy is changing. And if you're not up to date on what's going on in the economy, you're going to be left behind. They're making things so technical that if you don't know the language of technology, you're going to be left behind. And even with this new AI stuff everybody's talking about, I don't know a ton about it, but I'm willing to learn. You have to learn conversations when it comes to business. Even when you go into the stores and they set up hi, how you doing? And they set up these new machines and stuff in grocery stores. You have to read the instructions to figure out how to use even the cash register. So I would encourage you to start attending some free seminars. I went online. I think it's called Everbright. It's an app, and on there's all kind of programs, free events. I sat in on a seminar today for that. So I'm always willing to learn to help me to become valuable in the marketplace. If you don't begin to really sit down and build your skills, build your knowledge, how can I get a better job? How can I start a business? You're going to be left behind because society's changing, the money system's going to be changing, everything's changing, and they're doing it right up underneath your nose. When you go to work, sometimes your boss might be like, well, we got a new program coming in, and the consultant's going to come in, and we're going to explain it to you, because they've already started planning. What's the next move? How can they increase their income? So either you're going to swim or you're going to be left behind. A lot of people don't want to change, but you're going to have to change in order to stay ahead. The housing situation is tight. You know, my daughter and I were talking the other day, and she was like, Mom, you can't really even buy a house anymore because these companies, these LLCs, are buying up all the homes. They'll give you cash money, but what they don't tell you, and they're not, because they're not in that business to tell you, is they're buying up homes where now you're going to have to rent from people. You have to begin to think differently. You have to begin to say, you know what, how am I going to make it? How is my family going to make it? How are my kids going to make it? And I would encourage you, if you're a single parent, to see if you could get into a training program, build your skills. You know, even if it's an entry level position, just get in there, get the knowledge, and become informed about what's going on in the economy. When you go to Walmart, what I've learned about the stores now is they'll hire anyone. As long as you can ring and push a button, they will hire you. But then the long life of those jobs isn't long because there's no job security. The job market has changed. It's changing every day, especially with the technology. The businesses are going AI. They're going AI so that they can build their revenue, need less employees because the employers do not want to pay Social Security, they do not want to pay the taxes, so they will hire you even 30 hours because they don't have to pay full-time uh, monies to the government to take and employ you. So either you're going to become an employer or you're going to be an employee or you're not going to have a job. So you're going to have to begin to really sit down and think, how am I going to provide for me and my children? And if you don't have children or just you singly, or if you have older parents, how am I going to be able to help my family with the knowledge that I have? So like I said, for years, even as a single mom, and I was about 19, 20, and I was watching TV one day, and I said to myself, this doesn't look good, but I'm sitting here watching the soap operas, and I'm like, these people getting paid. And I think I got up like from the TV that evening, and I was like, I gotta go get in a training program. I gotta go get in something because I thought I don't know what I was thinking when I was a teenager, but I wasn't thinking right. So I went and I got into a training program. It was a literacy program where they test you to check your skills. Don't be ashamed. If you have to go and be tested, it's okay because you can find out your strengths and your weaknesses. They have all kind of job programs. They have literacy programs. The libraries have business centers. The libraries are becoming more adept because they know that they have to be the information center for the economy. They're even training free courses. They're starting courses where they'll even give you a computer and they'll train you with the basics and stuff so that you can use the technology. You have to become valuable in the economy or things are going to take and get worse for you. And I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. I'm here to encourage you. Yeah, I was over to Walmart today and I was looking at Walmart, and I always go in there and I do an assessment. I was a cashier for over 20, 25 years, even though I was into other industries and stuff. The market right now is they have the cash register set up where they just push a button. And I see the difference. Customer service isn't great, but I heard someone on a conference today, and they were talking about doing a customer service development program. If you have skills and you've been in customer service for years and you know good customer service, you can start a business doing that. You can start a freelance business going into corporations and asking corporations, I will come in and train your employees for you so that you can take and have a business and help them produce a better customer service base for customers. We need that. You see the lag in the economy with bad customer service. So there are jobs you can create with the skills that you have. Sit down, take a piece of paper out, a pen out, and begin to write down what is it that I can do to take and either start a business, if you're a baker, if you're a sitter, if you're a writer, people, if you can edit, there are people looking for people to edit papers. Everybody's not using AI yet. Sometimes people want to see long form handwriting, they want to see the edits, they want to keep it for their records. So there's some type of skill, even if it's cleaning, you can do something like that. So there's other things that you can do to begin to just make a difference in your life and other people's lives. If you have, I have a grandson. He came over a couple of weeks ago, and it snowed, and my daughter brought him down to help. And him, he's her stepson, but he's my grandson, and she brought him down, and I was like, hey, you know what? We were telling him you could have made like $200 just shoveling. That's a business. If you can wash clothes for people. Yes, the older women used to do domestic work. They didn't like it, but it was an income. It's about starting a business so that you'll always have some type of money coming in the door. I did my reselling this week and stuff. I sold a couple of different items on eBay, one on eBay, one on Poshmark. You can start a business with the knowledge that you have and be a legit business. So I want to encourage you, don't be ashamed if you don't have a high school diploma, a GED. Nowadays, I heard someone say the other day, and they were like, nowadays you don't even need a college degree. All you got to do is know how to take and put the information in the computer with this AI stuff, and there there you are. So if you're not going to be a doctor or a lawyer, I really would encourage you to look at the skills you have and see what you can do to begin to take and help yourself or your grandkids, your kids at home, start little small businesses to help the income work for the family. You want to build a valuable asset, and your children are your asset. If they can have a skill, if you can do reselling, if you can do, I'm getting ready to do cake pops. I used to sell cake pops. I used to build bouquets and different things for people having events. And I had that type of business and stuff. I did candy making. You could do candy making. You can do all kind of food and catering and things like that to help make it work for you. So I just wanted to come on and share with you that I don't care what age you are, where you are financially, if you need to take and be able to make an income, some type of money coming in the door, you have skills that you can actually market in the marketplace, and it just can start with by word of mouth. If you know somebody who's having a function, don't be afraid to ask them, hey, can I cater, but just make sure your food is good, because I'm going to tell you, it means repeat business. When your stuff is on point, it will definitely bring the clientele back so you can build those businesses. But I hope you had a good day, and if you have any questions, please leave it in the comments below, because again, the times we're living in right now, we have to build ourselves up. We have to encourage ourselves. The Bible says, encourage yourself in the Lord. Don't be discouraged. Get those books out, get those pens out, write down even one scripture, and you begin to recite it over and over and over, and you put it up in prayer, and you pray about it, and you ask God to lead you and to guide you. Keeping your family together. It's important that you keep your family together, because I'm going to tell you what's going on in the economy. We have to be prepared. We have to become knowledgeable about everything, even a little bit. We don't have to know everything, but just get the basic knowledge. And I want you to have a great day. Be encouraged, and I will be coming back to you again. This is Fern from FML Diversify. If you have any comments, like I said, if there's something you want me to investigate or research, I'm going to be starting a community where, for those older people my age or maybe younger, 40s, 30s, who are looking for a community to sit and talk with, of how we can network together to help each other go forward. That's what I'm going to be building, a community, a startup businesses, encouragement businesses. So remember, don't be discouraged, be encouraged, and you can make it. But have a great evening. This is Fern from FML Diversify. Talk with you later. Bye-bye.